What's going on, folks? This is the Kid DC Wrestling back out again with another video. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday afternoon or whatever time you're watching this video. And as you can see by the thumbnail, you see by the title on the video, today I'm here to give you all my 2021 predictions for the 35th annual Survivor Series pay-per-view event, which will be taking place next Sunday, November 21st, 2021, Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center. Now, Survivor Series is the last big four pay-per-view of the WWE. You have Royal Rumble, you have WrestleMania, then you have SummerSlam, and now you have Survivor Series. Heading into this show for Survivor Series, this does not feel like your typical big four pay-per-view. The Royal Rumble felt big, WrestleMania felt big, SummerSlam felt big. Survivor Series doesn't feel big at all. There has been little to no build for this show whatsoever. And I know, the matches are going to be, you look at these matches, it's going to be a good show, in my opinion. But build-wise, it has little to no build. It's like they just started announcing matches for literally the past 2 weeks now. And as of the recording of this video, the both Survivor Series elimination matches, Raw versus SmackDown, hasn't even been finalized yet. Remember you had, Sami Zayn and Aaliyah, be a part of the team, but then, they got kicked off. Well, Aaliyah got kicked off, and then Sami lost to Jeff Hardy on SmackDown, which means he's off the team. So it's just yeah. And plus, there's 4 matches, which means they'll probably have a 5th match, which will probably be Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It just hasn't been announced yet. But that's my point. All these matches were just announced right off the bat. In my opinion, the build towards Survivor Series should have started the night after Crown Jewel. Look at I'm trying to think. Look at 2019, for example. Survivor Series 2019 was great. The build-up was great. They started as soon as Crown Jewel ended, and they got the ball moving, and it really made Survivor Series 2019 a really great event. 2020 was a great year too, but it just had little to no build whatsoever, just like this show has little to no build whatsoever. But again, it should be a pretty good show. It's just that, Survivor Series is one of your big four pay-per-views, and you should really, really think they will put a lot of stock, a lot of momentum into that show. But it doesn't. This just does not feel like a big four pay-per-view anymore. You know what I mean? And even the Raw versus SmackDown stick, it's gotten to a point where it's just you don't really need to do it anymore. If you're going to do Raw and SmackDown, just bring back bragging rights. Go back to the original Survivor Series format. You could have done Team Roman versus, the whole W locker room or something. But I digress. Like I said, I want to be positive, and on a positive side, this should be a pretty good show. Now, like I mentioned before, this match hasn't been announced yet, but it might take place on the show. The U.S. champ versus the Intercontinental champ, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Damian Priest. If that match is announced for the show and it does happen, I must say that should be a really good match. And I am actually going to go with Damian Priest for the win. Damian Priest has just been killing it as Intercontinental champ, and I think having someone like Damian Priest get the win there would be really cool for him, and it should be a really good match. Now, another match that has also not really been announced, but will probably take place with the tag team division. You're going to have most likely the Usos, the SmackDown tag team champs, taking on the current Raw tag team champs, RK Bro. That match also hasn't been announced, but it'll probably take place on the show. But then again, it has no build whatsoever, so it might not even happen. But if it does, I'm gonna go with the Usos, man. You know, you guys know the bloodline. They've been running SmackDown. They've been running Rough Shot. So I think the Usos would win. And if that match does take place, it should be a really good match. All right, so now we get to the 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw: Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio. It was supposed to be Dominic Mysterio, but he got beat up by Lashley, and so now Lashley's a part of it now. Taking on Team SmackDown: Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, Happy Corbin, and to be announced. God knows who's gonna be to be announced. I have no idea on who it's gonna be. But anyways, if I had to pick a winner with this, I'm actually go with I'm gonna go with Team SmackDown for the win here, man. SmackDown's team just feels more, especially with my boy Jeff Hardy, and of course Drew McIntyre and King Woods and even Corbin. I just feel like to a certain extent Team SmackDown will be getting the win, and Drew McIntyre and maybe even King Woods maybe will be the sole survivors for Team SmackDown. So that is who I am predicting to win that match, Team SmackDown. Now we have Team Raw. Team SmackDown for the women's side. Team Raw is Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina Vega. And then Team SmackDown is Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and Aaliyah. I'm gonna go with Team Raw for this one. Team Raw just seems much more better than SmackDown to a certain extent. I just feel like with Raw they're gonna get that advantage. So I'm gonna go with Raw. And if I had to pick who would be the sole survivors, it will probably be, who knows, man. It'll probably be Bianca, Ripley, and even Liv Morgan. So those are one of those three or all three of those women to be sole survivors. So that is who I'm predicting to win that match. All right, so for this match, man, we got champion versus champion with the women. Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champ, versus Charlotte Flair. This is really interesting, especially with, note of the backstage heat that's been going on. We've seen this match before. These two women, they have great chemistry, I would say, in the ring. I know backstage they may not be very liked with one another, but when it comes to that ring, they go down, and I'm actually think this is gonna be a really great match. I do think Becky Lynch will get the win here, though. Becky's gonna use heel tactics to win, and Becky will get the win here. And what will be the main event of the night? Big E, the WWE champ, versus the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Universal champ, Roman Reigns, champion versus champion. Who wins this match? Come on now. We know who's going to win this match. It's going to be the Tribal Chief. It is going to be the head of the table. It is going to be Mr. Roman Reigns. I know people were saying that they should have done Rollins versus Reigns. That would have been cool too, but you got to just think Big E just won the title. Big E needs that title reign, man. And Big E's going to put up a fight. He will, but in the end, it won't be enough, because in the end, Roman Reigns will win. We're probably going to get the Usos. The dang Usos are probably going to come out like always, and that's going to lead to Roman Reigns winning. So, again, man, Survivor Series, it should be a pretty good show, but my main problem with it, there's little to no build whatsoever. You could have had them showed up. Like, guys like Big E could have showed up to help out his boy, The New Day, with Roman on SmackDown. And I just feel like that for a Big Four pay-per-view, this is just probably one of the most least Survivor Series, in a very long time. But anyways, man, that is my prediction. Sorry for being long, but, minus the rambling. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Remember to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500 subs, man. We're trying to get up there. So that'll be much appreciated, man. Also, liking and commenting will also be much appreciated as well. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling, and so yeah.